I'm excited. I just ran into Robert Scoble, who I tell my students to follow at Belmont University, and he's here with his book, Age of Context, by himself and Shell Israel.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll get them to come through Nashville in April, because they'll be in Memphis, and we're going to try to work it out where you can stop by Belmont.
We'll see. April, I think I'm going to Israel, so I have to.
Oh.
It's crazy.
There's no choice there. I get it.
It's crazy.
So, but advice for our students, Robert. You're out there. You're meeting people ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, I study startups. I go around the world and interview startups, and some innovators and some research labs, but mostly startups around the world. So there's so much. We could talk about self-publishing. I mean, the world is changing now, where you can. You don't need to convince a committee the way I had. When I grew up, to get on TV, you had to convince a committee. Now you put a video up on YouTube, no committee involved. Now, getting attention is the harder thing, because you have to be good at being an entrepreneur and getting people to see you and getting distribution for your ideas or your work. And, we published our book through Amazon, so Amazon printed the book for us. And so now we don't need a big book publisher anymore to print the book, but now we have to have help, getting the word out and getting those reviews in and getting people to buy it. So if and I'm fairly big on social media.
How do you do it? You seem to be everywhere at the same time. How do you do it?
Just all day long. I'm on my phone or in front of my desk on my computer, and I've built really good inbound. So I go to a lot of conferences and I take notes on who is really interesting. And I start, I do just what every kid's doing now, right? Building friend networks on Facebook or Twitter or Google Plus or LinkedIn or Quora or on and on. And I just study that world. I'm doing it for a very specific thing, which is trying to find something new. Other people might be like sports fanatics, so they're going to follow all the sports, all the players in the World Series, and if you can see a new pattern that nobody else is seeing, now all of a sudden you have something interesting to say, right? It's for me, social media is about building a great inbound, so you can see a new pattern that other people aren't seeing, and then you can put that back out and build a media thing. My advice today, if I was starting out as a kid, is pick a niche. Pick a niche that isn't well covered, that could be well covered. I mean, can I have my Google Glass? Let me show you off. Hey, can I have my Google Glass? Yeah. So, Google Glass, right? This will be a big deal in the next 10 years. I don't know what year it's going to be a big deal, but it's going to be a big deal. And so there's not a really great blogger that's covering Google Glass all the time. So you could cover Google Glass and start a blog and start a Facebook and start a Twitter thing about Google Glass and just cover the shit out of it, right? And now you're becoming known as the Google Glass thing, and as this gets bigger and bigger and bigger, all of a sudden you're the guy who gets invited to Google to see the next Google Glass, the version 2 and the version 3, and you get invited to the Consumer Electronics Show because you're the Google Glass person, right? And you get invited to talk to Fast Company or whatever, and all of a sudden you're becoming a bigger and bigger brand, and then once that becomes important, then you can spin out on another niche and another niche, and then all of a sudden you have a family of niches, and now you're the next Huffington Post, right? Or the next AOL, really, or the next, like Jason Calacanis. That's what he did with blogs. He started out with Engadget, then he got, another blog and another blog and another blog, and all of a sudden he sold it for $25 million. All that. So that would be my advice: is find something you're passionate about and that isn't well covered, and cover the hell out of it.
No, I'm laughing because this is exact advice I told my students about Blast. Create the websites. Do this. I'm a fellow explorer, so I get it. We don't know what we're doing, but we're having fun doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Bless you on your book. So again, this is his new book, Age of Context, and I'll have to check it out because a lot of your books from all of the innovators I try to have my students read.
Thank you very much.